Hi guys, so today's video is going to be about some loved and hated tropes. I asked all of you over on my Instagram if you love or hate these specific tropes, and I had a list of 10 total. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the ones that I asked about. We're going to rank them from what you guys voted as least favorite to favorite. And then I'm going to do another video that's going to go alongside this one where I mention some books that contain these tropes, so that way if you're looking for some recommendations, you'll have that. And in that video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the average ratings for the books that go along with these tropes, and I'm going to compare what you all ended up voting on Instagram from least favorite to favorite, and how generally people on Goodreads rank the books that have those tropes to see how much they actually end up matching. So be on the lookout for that video. It'll be up very soon, but just sticking with the tropes first and their results, I'm going to list all of the tropes for you. And before I get into the stats for each of them, I want you guys to let me know which one do you think, based off of the ones I'm going to tell you, which one do you think is going to be the lowest ranked and which one do you think is going to be the highest ranked? There are a couple that actually really surprised me. Listing off the tropes that I asked about, we have chosen one, love triangle, school setting, not like other girls, not like other boys, secret heir, the mentor figure, hero's quest, rags to riches, hate to love, and lovable criminal. I do have even more tropes that I'm going to do other videos for, so if you're wanting to participate in the voting for the next round, my Instagram is ebnovels. Also, let me know if there are any tropes that you want me to do, because while I have another list of 10 that I'm planning on doing for another video like this, maybe you guys will have other ones that you want me to do this for that aren't on that list. Okay, so if you wanted to say which of those tropes that you thought was going to be the least liked, go ahead and do that now, or the most liked, because I'm just going to jump into it. The least liked trope out of all of these was the not like other girls and other boys. The results were 24% liked it and 76% did not. I actually was surprised because I thought that love triangle would be the least liked, to be honest, with the way everybody always, whenever there's a book with a love triangle, everybody's like, ugh, another love triangle. Not surprising to me, love triangle was the next least liked, and it was very, very close. We had 27% to 73%. I think it's really fascinating that so many people don't like love triangles, yet they still seem to pop up pretty often. And I think that at the end of the day, and I think a lot of you would agree, that it's all about how the tropes are incorporated into the story. Sometimes stories can have love triangles and we can end up really loving the book. So it's just a matter of whether the trope is done well. I did have one person DM me and they said they actually love love triangles because if they don't like one of the love interests, then at least they have another option to root for. I think for me with love triangles, what frustrates me is that sometimes we're given a love interest that's perfect. They're perfectly fine, not perfect like they're flawless. They're a nice person. There's nothing wrong with them. And then new character comes along and suddenly the first character is just a terrible person, or they're made out to be awful, or there has to be this forced tension in order for the other person to look good. I think that annoys me more than there literally just being multiple options in a person's life. The next one honestly surprised me. I thought this was going to rank a lot higher, but coming in at number 8 is school settings. The percentage for this one was 66-34. Still fairly favorable. I remember talking with some people about their thoughts on school settings, and some people don't like them because they didn't like school. So they don't like being reminded of what it was like. We actually have a tie for 6 and 7. It's hate to love and then rags to riches. Apparently if you put a 2 in there, if you're just doing a total swap of something, they're pretty even. Both of these were 70-30. Obviously if they're tied, they would both be the same. But I honestly, I hear people say a lot that they love hate to love, and I don't know how much I love that trope, but I thought other people loved it more. But rags to riches is one of my favorite tropes because I think of it not just as you went from being poor to being rich, but you went from being an underdog to winning, you know? It's like when the underdog wins the Super Bowl. Who doesn't like that? I just feel like it's I love that trope, but I'm very curious. Why don't people like rags to riches? Is it that you don't like the idea, literally, if somebody's going from poor to rich, that you don't like, it seems as though you're saying that money was something that fixed everything, or are you thinking of it as more than just a financial circumstance for the characters, but you still don't like it? I'm confused, guys. I really like that one. Coming in at number 5, we have secret heir. This is actually one of my favorite tropes, so I would have ranked it higher personally, but I also think it's difficult to find books that have secret heir because a lot of the times it's a secret to the reader also, so it's a spoiler later and it's a big reveal. And I also think there's a difference between secret heir and an heir who isn't ready to take over the throne. They still have to do with a throne, but they're slightly different. So secret heir, it can be really fun, or it can kind of be lame, I guess. I still always like it though. Just barely beating that one out, we have chosen one. And this is one of the ones that shocked me the most because I honestly see so many people say that they hate the chosen one trope. And I have never really hated the chosen one trope. I think once again, it's a trope that it just depends on how the author incorporates it into the story. But I did not expect so many people to like the chosen one trope. I didn't think more people would like chosen one than secret heir and rags to riches. I guess that's what's more surprising. It's not surprising that people like it to me. It's that they apparently you guys like it more than the other ones. Of course, I'm only taking a small sample size based off of the people that follow me on Instagram and voted, but I would be curious on a larger scale for those of you here on YouTube who don't use Instagram. What are your thoughts on this? I think it'd be fascinating to see. In fact, I'm going to put up a little poll. Are you surprised that Chosen One beat out some of these other ones, or do you think it makes sense? What I also find really ironic is, to me, Chosen One is almost like Not Like Other Girls and Boys, but Chosen One is number 4 out of these 10, and Not Like Other Girls and Boys was the least favored of all of these. So I think if you literally see the words, you're just not like other boys or something, you're not like other girls, if that's what you were thinking, or do you just not like people who are different in some way and it's shown a lot? But to me, that's what a chosen one is. Usually though, chosen one's like, this person's gonna save the world, but by them being the one that's gonna save the world, aren't they kind of inherently not like other girls and boys? Maybe it's that chosen one doesn't have anything to do usually with a romantic interest, where Not Like Other Girls and Boys is what draws a character to somebody else romantically. Maybe that's what it is, as opposed to just literally this person is unique in some way. Next up, we have Hero's Quest, which is one that you guys really liked. It was at 88% for loved, which honestly really surprised me because Hero's Quests, usually it's a quest, which means it's a traveling story. And I've seen a lot of people from my own experience saying they don't like traveling stories, but obviously that's kind of what a hero's quest is. And the reason I think people tend to, when they say they don't like traveling stories, one of the things they don't like is that it ends up feeling really episodic and it doesn't feel as cohesive as some other stories. And it just kind of can feel very random because when people are out and about traveling, just things can pop up that are not expected, and then therefore it can't be foreshadowed, and you kind of just have to be along for the ride. But then Hero's Quest is ranked really well on this list, so this one definitely surprised me. And tied for number 1 would be Mentor Figure and Lovable Criminal. I will admit, I love me a good lovable criminal, and I love me a good mentor figure. I do think that if I had said, mentor figure dies, I would be very curious to see how many people still would like that, because I think that's a big joke, especially in fantasy. It's the mentor figures always dying. But lovable criminal, who doesn't love a lovable criminal? I think it depends on the character. Anyway, I definitely want to know, if you want to go back and edit your comment, let me know if you ended up being right about which one was going to be the least liked and most liked. And also, like I said before, I'm going to do a companion video to this one. I'm going to be talking about some books that have these tropes in them, and then I'm going to compare the average rating from least to greatest, and then I'm going to compare it to how these tropes themselves ranked. And then I'm going to do that same concept with these 2 videos. I'm going to do it again with some different tropes, but if there are other tropes you guys want me to do this with, let me know. I could make this a whole series and just keep doing it because I think it's really fun. I think seeing different people's opinions about these tropes are, I think it's fascinating to see some that I thought were going to do really well and didn't do as well as I thought. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was fun for you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.